Alright, what up? Welcome to Upanic, the show where real dudes have real conversations with zero fucks given. I'm your host, Rome, joined here by the fellow guys, Fu, G. This is actually part 2 to a topic we're digging in on called Black Fatherhood. Very meaningful discussion here. We have two fathers here, Fu, G. I plan to be one at some point, but not right now. I'm chilling. But anyway, Fu.
Yo.
You chilling?
I am chilling.
All right, word, man. Yo, G, you chilling?
Yeah, man. Ready to get this popping.
All right, word. So we're going to skip real or fake for today, and we're just going to jump right into the topic, Black Fatherhood. Make sure you check out part 1. Again, follow us on anything, Upanick'd. All right? And make sure you get to our episodes on SoundCloud, Audio Mac. Check out part 1 for sure. It's a great conversation. Also, get caught up on the rest of the episodes. But this is part 2 to Black Fatherhood. All right, so we're going to start off with the question, can a mother teach a boy how to be a man? And let me just preface, part 2, we're going to kind of dig into like the woman and children's perspective on this. Part 1 was definitely more father perspective, but, let's get it popping. So, yeah, can a woman teach a boy how to be a man? Yo, G, what you think?
I'm going to take the controversial approach.
Okay.
And I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
The reason
I thought
why
you were going to say something else, all right?
The reason why I have to say yes is because, God damn it, man, if a quarter of our households have no fathers, then you're saying a quarter of our, 3/4 of our men aren't men. So
that sounds about right to me. I don't know.
This shit's so outrageous.
Yeah.
I gotta say, yo, fuck it, yo, sisters could make men, yo, because if not, yo, the black community's doomed, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. This shit,
That's a good point.
Crazy. It's too crazy. You know
That's a good point. I agree with you on that, man.
Yo, what y'all saying is, for every man,
right,
there's 3 other males. You get what I'm saying? And that's just wild, Joe. So it's like I have to believe that there's way more men in our community. So I have to say sisters could raise boys into men. Yeah,
absolutely. I agree with that. Yo, Fu.
Yo.
What you think? Can a woman raise a boy into a man?
I'm gonna say no on this one.
You're gonna say no?
Yes, and it might be controversial, but I'm gonna say for that person, whether it be a sister raising a man or a woman, I think both parties, for people to become holistic in their best selves, both parties should be there and should be active in the raising of a child. Now, I think sisters can do their best, but a sister is not a man. She's a woman herself, right? So how can a woman teach a man to be a man?
So I'm going to entertain that for a second.
Yeah.
The positive, I'm not going to, let me remove that word. The role models in a boy's life, right? If they don't have the father there present, obviously they're probably not looking at their mother on how to be a man. So maybe they're looking at these other male role models around them.
There, yeah. There has to be that masculine energy there.
But does that mean? So okay, with that in mind, right? There's other male role models involved. Like for me, I know my mother would make sure my grandfather was in my life. My grandmother on my father's side would make sure she would take me over to his house. My older sister, no longer here with me, rest in peace, Alicia. She would also make sure that I would be over at my father's house all the time. And there would always, there was always like a male role model. But my mother definitely raised me on her own, and I think she did a great job. People would tell me that outside of myself. So do you think just because there isn't a father
let me add on to what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a different approach.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I actually will say my moms did teach me how to be a man. You know why? Because, my moms taught me and my brother what not to do as a man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? My mom's, she told us, like, I'm struggling because your father's not here. When you have a family, you guys need to provide this, that, and the third.
So a woman's experience with men.
She's telling us through her perspective what a man should be.
Right.
And I always told myself I would never be like daddy. So my brother, same thing. We was like, when we step up, we're going to actually be men, the men that our mother will want us to be. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I hear when brothers saying like, nah, a woman can't, but it's like, I think she actually could now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all I had was my mom's, like, as I got older, like in high school and stuff, I seen, and I met like, positive, like, males who were also like fathers and good men in the community and all. But for the most part, all I had was my mom's, and all I had was my mom's and my aunts. Mm-hmm. And probably only like 2 of my aunts were still with their husbands. Yeah. The rest, nah. You know what I mean? So it's like a bunch of cousins all raised in single mother households, Mm-hmm. And so that's why I'm like, yo, I have to believe, like, yo, women could raise boys into men, because pretty much what you're saying is, yo, our community's fucking doomed, yo. And that doesn't even make sense, yo.
What you got?
Like,
you got
real
anything?
talk, yo. It's like, no, that's pretty much what I was saying, yo.
I mean,
what you got for
definitely women can add to our values, but I think when we watch examples, you're not watching a woman as an example of how to be a man. You're looking to other men. What's this brother doing right? What's this? And if you are fortunate enough to have your father in your life, like for me, I remember going to elementary school and like seeing boys like pull down their pants with their ass out. You know what I mean? And
what? Pause, dog. What?
Nah, that's
I remember
real
a couple
talk.
kids would do that.
A couple of kids would do that. Yeah, and
fuck?
no disrespect to their parents, but those are probably the kids that didn't have no pops, because I would watch.
Yo, I just had. I
watch how my pops pee and unzip.
That's a real thing.
And I'd be like, oh, he unzips like that. I remember being in
elementary school.
Yeah, I watched little things. There was little nuances. I see. Oh, my dad only he unzips the zipper and. You know what I mean? And so that's how I knew how to pee correctly.
Wait, but that's not.
That's
because
something
my mother still taught me how to fucking take a piss.
Yeah, that's something that women can teach.
My
but this is what I'm saying.
taught me how to pee,
She's gonna have to tell you how to do it. I could just observe my pops. That's what I'm saying. I could observe what he's doing.
She's still teaching you though.
But that's the question is.
That's not even teach you to be a man. That's just teach you how to fucking pee. That's what y'all saying. We're talking about teaching you how to fucking piss.
Right.
Yo, I'm just using that as an example.
All a woman gotta do is put fucking Cheerios in the fucking bowl.
But basically, what I'm saying,
Cheerios, bro.
any behaviors we pick up, they're physical examples that a man can show you. And
but that doesn't mean a mother can't teach you and tell you, because we just showed.
Yeah, she can teach you and tell you.
Yo,
but
perfect example.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
My wife taught my son how to potty train. She taught him that. What the fuck does that mean? Nothing, bro. Like, I don't. These examples are kind of like almost asinine. Like,
oh no.
Like, we're talking about becoming a man. Y'all talking about how to fucking
it's 2017.
use your body, like bodily function.
Yo, I bet you, especially in this age, there's probably more boys peeing incorrectly at any time in history.
This is
I don't know about this.
Yo, there's a lot of soft brothers out here, dog. I'm telling you.
I still don't think that doesn't mean a mother can't teach.
Yo, I'm just saying, can you?
Because she can still, like I said, there's still examples present. Or maybe not in every case, but there's still an opportunity for examples to be present.
She's a woman. She's a woman. You know what I mean? She could teach.
And she has experience.
She could teach a woman how to be a woman. A man can teach a man how to be a man. A woman can teach a man what a man is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. But a woman cannot teach a man how to be a man. Because you're already a man. You know what I mean? You're already
you're not already
you're
a man.
already
You're
male.
a boy.
You're a boy, yeah.
I see what you were trying to say, yeah.
But
I'm saying, you're going to say.
He's saying she's like, I feel like you're just tying it to the physical aspect of it.
Not just the physical
aspect. How about
this?
Yo, what does it mean to be a man? Like, how you define
their behaviors, right? And that I'll say real men, because I do make a
how about this? Just define what man or manhood
real
is
masculinity to you. And there's a security, right? That you can watch with other men who are confident in themselves. That you can only see that from watching a man. You know what I mean?
Hold
and
on.
Women,
So you're saying you can't, a mother can't teach her son confidence?
no, she can.
So
She can.
How about
But I
this?
just don't.
How about? Can you explain
actually,
to me
that's a
what
good
does
point.
a man mean to you?
But
Let's figure out
basically,
what a man. Yeah.
I mean, whether you want to say it's the father that's there has to be some masculine energy. You know what I mean? There
So you're
has to
saying
be-
a man is just masculine energy? That's how you define manhood?
by masculine energy, yeah. I mean, proper
listen,
masculine
that
energy.
doesn't
There's
make
certain
sense.
things.
I think here's what I think. I think if you
Like, there's a difference between a man.
That's too abstract.
All right, there's a difference between a man, you watching a man open up a door for a woman and seeing that, and a woman saying to you, you should open up a door for ladies.
No, what you're saying is, but it's the same outcome. Some people learn through...
It's not the same outcome.
Yes, it is. You know why? Some people could learn through actually observing visually, right?
Yes.
Other people could learn from reading a book or getting wisdom passed down to them.
I'll say
you know
this.
what I'm saying? All it is the
I'll
same
say something
outcome.
about human
Yes.
behavior. 85% of communication is nonverbal.
okay.
We pay more attention to what people do than what they say. So somebody could tell you, do this like this and do this like this, and you'd be like, all right, cool. But at the end of the day, when you see something and you see it working, or you see it for what it is, it's different. It's a different experience than someone telling you, hey, this is what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? For
I get what
example,
you're saying.
you
Theory
use your
versus
pops.
practice.
Yeah, you see the example of your pops. Had you saw your pops in your life as an example of what a man is supposed to be, it probably would have impacted your life differently than your mom telling you.
Yeah, I'm be
You
honest.
know what I mean?
If my
You probably
pops-
might have got a lot of lessons faster.
No, I
Or
think
even better.
I think I would have been worse. Mind you, this my pops.
I was just gonna say.
Y'all niggas bugging. My father literally told me when my wife was pregnant, yo, you need to go knock up another shorty so you can have more kids. The nigga dead ass told me that shit. You know what I'm saying? At my fucking wedding, this nigga fucking got caught looking at my wife's mom's ass. Yo, the nigga ain't shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, son. Like, y'all niggas is bugging, yo. Like,
That's wild.
and if I had to choose who to
That's
teach
wild.
me
Yeah, that's-
manhood,
that's a
my
little
moms or my
wild.
pops, I'm going with my moms, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
y'all,
a little wild. Yeah, that's a little wild.
y'all are bugging, dog.
I ain't gonna front. I was just getting ready to say, yo, that goes right into the next question. Honestly, I'm not obviously disrespecting anyone's pop.
No,
shit.
no.
Can a deadbeat dad teach a boy how to be a man? Is that child better off not even knowing him?
Well, he's a deadbeat. No.
Okay.
Nigga,
I mean-
yo, how about this fool?
I mean, that was a
You still haven't defined what the fuck it means to be a man, so that way we can actually have a convo.
Alright,
Because I'm
so-
trying to understand.
so,
what
I
the
mean,
fuck-
I think-
now let's have that conversation then. What does it mean to be a man?
I think in the last episode, I said something to the effect of taking responsibility. But there are definitely mannerisms. There are definitely things that.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Do those mannerisms define manhood?
Yes, you're talking to a
Mannerisms,
brother who.
mannerisms. I don't know.
Yeah, you're talking to a brother who fully believes in gender roles. So, and I'll tell that to anybody. If somebody's crying, go. You know what I mean? Go follow Agenda 21. You know what I mean? If you don't know what that is,
follow
look it up
Agenda
on
21.
Google. Go follow Agenda 21.
Yeah, how about this?
I'm not
Just
about
answer
that
the
life.
question, man.
But I think, there's men being men. There's men being masculine. I think there's a such thing as a masculine man. I think there's
So a man to
men
you is
taking
just
feminine traits.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
Yo, how come you
It's
can't
not
answer
about
the
grunt.
question, yo?
It's
He's-
not about
he's
grunt.
trying-
He's
I'm
just
saying that being a man is
there-
just.
No. Being a man is being.
How many times we asked him?
All
This
right,
dude just saying,
being a man
yo,
is
man,
being a
just being
gentleman,
a man.
right? Being a
Right.
man is being a
Yeah.
gentleman, right?
Yes. Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. You can have examples of men, not just
see?
besides my father.
woman could teach a
like
guy
male
a boy to
teachers
be a
I had,
gentleman.
male dudes that I looked up to. I don't want like the word mentor because that's on some Greek Fosse life, but big brothers I had and people I looked up to like like my man Pro Black. He's that was an example of a man.
Shout out to Pro Black.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the whole OG. You know what I mean?
Respect to my nigga.
That when I was young, that's somebody I would emulate. He's showing me how to move. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Men know how to move. Men are assertive. Men are. There's certain things like a woman could tell you be assertive, right? But you seeing another man be like, all right, that's how you do it though. You know what I mean?
No, I think to answer that question, it is a little complex.
Yeah.
I think it's how do you put? I mean, I want to hear what you think.
Man,
I feel like you can't really put that in.
Honestly, we do it naturally.
Generalize.
As men, we do it naturally, and I imagine women do this naturally, emulating other women. But like as people, we do it naturally. We emulate people, and this is why I think masculinity. I don't need it. Necessarily it needs to be redefined, but we need to really define what it is because
we just need to figure it out.
A lot in the hood, the men we look up to are the pimps and
bingo
and
so
drug
now
dealers.
What Fool was saying earlier doesn't.
But a lot of them
to
dudes
me.
is soft. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes is
I don't even know.
Not necessarily the pimp. The pimps is like I'm void of emotion.
Listen,
the thugs is like too much emotion. Thugs need hugs for real. For real, it's like yo, this nigga stepped on my shoe, nigga. I'm a blast. I'm a killer, nigga. Fuck
so are
that.
they men or are they not
Jordans. Men? They're male, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're not
a true man.
Well, because
that's what I'm saying. A true man.
Hang on.
A true man. That shit'll roll off. That shit's like it ain't nothing.
So this is what I think.
Nothing but a G.
Because being a man,
being a man and being male are two different things.
Maybe. I guess I just find it hard to put into a sentence what a man is.
Basically, what I'm saying is a man can teach you how to have respect for yourself. You know what I mean? And a woman can tell you to have respect for yourself.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
She's not gonna be the physical example of manhood to a man.
Let me hear what you think.
That's the only thing I agree with you on is the ending, the physical example. But beyond that, yo, a woman definitely can teach you how to be a man.
But that's what I'm saying.
All the qualities that you're saying, that could be taught by anybody.
But I want to know what you think, G.
No, I don't believe so.
What is a man? I think that's. I can't really put that into a few words. Man. You know what I mean?
Y'all, I don't know if y'all niggas is ready for this answer, but
yeah, yo.
So manhood, womanhood, they're all social constructs, right? So pretty much is how we define it in this society, right?
Hit me with that Agenda 21.
Nah, no, I'm not. Yo, listen, like, to me, right?
They're not real.
Yo, listen, no, all I'm gonna say is this, right?
Hey, I'm a real
manhood
man,
and womanhood, technically, when you define it in words, they're the same shit.
Well, because that's what I was saying. I was like,
provider,
all of these
right?
things can be.
All of these shits are the same shit. Like,
I don't believe so.
Yo, listen,
so.
For example, right?
I don't breastfeed.
Okay, you see, now you're forcing it. But again,
that's
so
I'm nurturing, but I don't breastfeed.
But that's my point. You're still a nurturer, though. You see, but in other ways.
No, but
yo,
I'm not
it's
the
kind of
main,
like this. All right, how about
listen.
this? I'll explain this, right? And I truly
Trust
believe
me,
this.
I don't got the attention.
Let me hear what you say first.
Trust me. All right, but go ahead.
I truly
go
believe
ahead.
this, right? Every human being has both the masculine and the feminine energy. Men, for the most part, right? Because we are more testosterone prone, we're more on the masculine side, right? So we may be more assertive or aggressive, or, you know, we may have the physical strength qualities and things of that nature. And we may teach our sons, because you're bigger, you need to protect your mom, you need to protect your sisters, your siblings, things of that nature, right? Because of your actual size, right?
I don't think it's just size,
but anybody could teach them that shit.
Men are naturally more aggressive.
Yeah, that's my point. But however, walk with me on this. Hold on, perfect example, right?
Okay.
What Food just said, right? Okay. Now, and this is why I kept asking you to define what manhood is, because think about this. A lot of these dudes in the hood, right? All that they 100% on masculine mode, right? They're like, yo, I gotta assert my authority at any time, at any moment. And then to me, that's foolish, right? I wouldn't say that's manhood, but it could be your definition of manhood because they're assertive, or they're showing their strength. That's not manhood to me. What manhood is like knowing your responsibilities and protecting and providing for your responsibilities.
Yeah, but you protect
but the
with
same
your assertion.
thing could apply to women. So womanhood is the same way. It's just we show it in different ways. Like
I disagree.
You fucking agree with me, but you're just playing games right now.
No, I ain't playing games. I disagree.
Perfect example. My wife, right?
I respect it.
She is more of a nurturer than I am, right? Mm-hmm. That's not me, right? But I am nurturing in other ways. But we both are nurturing. We're both providers. We both provide emotional support, financial support. We're both there physically for my son. We're all doing the same thing overall. It's just we're doing it in different ways. You see what I'm saying? If my son falls right now and he starts crying, I'll hit him with the tough love, right? Mm-hmm. Because I go, you know what? You're just doing that because people are around. Mm-hmm. If he falls in front of my wife, she might hug him like, oh, you'll be okay, this and that, and he'll stop crying. Both ways are the same result. He's going to stop crying. That's an
example that I talked about.
No, it isn't.
Because naturally, the woman's nature is different than a man's nature.
I agree with you on that.
But that's what I'm saying. You use my...
We're not disagreeing. I'm saying this.
What you said, man.
What I'm saying is this. The definition of manhood and the definition of womanhood are the same shits. How we go about it are different. So that's why I said the only thing I agree with you on was the very last thing when he was like, you know, a woman can't teach the son like how to observe a man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Something along those lines. Oh. I agree with him on that because she can't do that.
She can tell you to respect yourself, but she can't show you how to respect yourself.
But she can literally teach you how to fucking be a man. Like, think about this, right? We have religious people, right? Mm-hmm. Yo, they literally base their life off of a book. Mm-hmm. You think fucking Jesus Christ is walking around here? You think Prophet Muhammad's walking around here? No.
Yes.
Anyways. But when they read that book, right, they're literally reading words. And they're going, Leo, I'm going to base my life around these godly men, right? Quote unquote godly men. Mm-hmm. And they literally follow that shit. Some people follow it to a T. So the fact that you're saying like a woman can't teach a man how to be a man, I think it's bullshit. Literally, yo, Jesus fucking taught motherfuckers how to show love and forgiveness. If you think about it, these are usually feminine qualities, right? That I think Fu would say are feminine qualities.
Mm. No, I don't believe so. I don't think.
Okay, all right. Well, people will say those are more feminine than they are masculine.
No,
right?
Men should have love and forgiveness. But
I agree. I agree with you. But I'm just saying,
men shouldn't be sitting down. I'm just saying, like, there's certain things. Yo, there's brothers out here that, yo, you be surprised.
I don't know, man. Listen, yo, this is crazy.
You be surprised.
Yo, children.
I just hold on.
It's 2017.
Yo, all I'm saying is
it's 2017. You got mothers now dressing their little boys in dresses, talking about.
Yo, man,
he's expressing himself.
Yo, listen. You see now you bringing in other arguments.
Minority.
What I'm saying is this, right? Yep. You can't say like we keep asking, what is manhood? Yo, manhood's just being a man. What the fuck does that mean? You see what I'm saying? Then you go, oh, you can't teach it. You just gotta observe it. Then pretty much we're fucked then because if the majority of males aren't men, then who are we observing, bro? That's why I'm like, yo, all of this shit's relative. Why? Because, yo, manhood, womanhood, these are fucking social constructs. You know what I'm saying? They vary based upon the society you live in.
But but societies have traditions and values.
All right, so how about this? What's the traditions for us as black people in the Americas?
Well, that's why black people in America are in disarray because we don't have traditions and values. Okay. We used to. And then we started following the doctrines of other people and the society of other people.
So then pretty much what Fu is saying, he doesn't know what it is to be a black man.
I never said that.
I've been asking, Ron, please help me.
No, we've lost that.
I've been asking for the longest, what does it mean to be a man? And all you're saying is, a man is just a man.
Yo, I don't think you can put that into words. I
said more than that.
Like, I don't think you can put that into words.
Yeah, you can't encapsulate all of manhood into a few words and all of womanhood, but definitely we as men have specific gender roles, specific ways of moving.
Yo, when you keep saying specific gender roles, what?
There's a different.
How about this?
Responsibility.
Like what? Give me examples right now. Like what?
An example of a gender role.
I want at least three.
I'll use what you said as an example, right? You said just naturally, a little boy scrapes his leg or something, he starts crying. His mom is going to be like,
Okay, so usually, example one would be woman providing emotional support.
What you talking about?
Yeah, emotional support could look different, but sometimes saying toughen up is emotional support. It's like, all right, you can get through this. This ain't nothing. You just scraped your knee.
So that's
you
what
good.
it means to be a man.
Nah, it's you're showing that emotional stability. That I was like, all right, he's stable. I'll tell you a story. One time, this is funny, but this,
My nigga, I hope your story ends up explaining what the fuck I asked.
I was riding my bike, right? Ended up falling off my bike. I scraped my whole shit up, my whole side of my shit. My pants was
side of my shit.
Whole side of my shit. My pants was ripped up, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I was like, I ain't gonna go ride my bike no more because I done messed up. Let me just walk to the bus stop with the bike, right? Mm-hmm. I see a little boy. He's like crying. He's with his mom. He's with his mom Dukes. I said, all right. So why are you crying? He scraped his leg. I was like, yo, I scraped, I just fell off my bike. I scraped it too. It's okay. You could cry a little bit, but you got through that. You good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Giving him but I didn't coming from, oh, it's okay, because that's not what I do, because that's not my natural disposition. That's what I'm saying. But
I see how you're trying to.
It can be the same, and that's what I'm trying to differentiate for Greg. It can be the same. No, it could be the same message, but how it's delivered will not be the same. Because men,
what are you talking about, bro?
That's
bullshit.
Men who, you might believe that's bullshit.
I think I see what he's saying. He's saying that
it's real for me in my reality.
Conveys emotional support might be different than a way a male conveys emotional support.
You guys are
assuming.
You guys are assuming that all women think the same. Just like
they're masculine
all men
women,
think the
but
same.
that's not.
No.
That's not
what?
That's not their.
That's not their what?
That's not their nature.
Don't panic.
That's not. There's no panic in this. We've been living. We as a people have been living outside of our nature, and that's why we have the problems we have in our society, because we choose to live outside of our nature.
No, so you telling me you actually believe that all women are supposed to just be on some like, oh my God, it's okay.
Oh my God,
let me kiss your boo boo.
You
really believe that?
To be honest,
fuck out of here, dog.
I found a brother who makes the toys too. To be honest,
just keep it on deck.
I feel like if the women came forth with their matrilineal love, it would heal a lot of our people. You know what I mean? But because not just women, but we all have a self-centeredness in how we've been indoctrinated in modern society. We're losing a lot of that. We have career women who don't have time for the kids, and you have people who just I gotta leave the kid with the nanny, and boom, 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 and other even situations. I know brothers who they didn't grow up with their mother. You know what I mean? They grew up with their father. You know what I mean? And no mother. And I see how those brothers, some close friends of mine, I won't say their names, but and I see how they react to women and deal with women, and there's like a hate there. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Because they didn't get that other side. I think anytime you don't get one side, there's gonna be some type of imbalance there. Not to say that that within yourself you can't work at it to bring yourself at balance, but I think just naturally, it's just natural for you to not get something that you could have got.
I respect it.
This, dude?
Yeah,
I respect it.
Do you agree?
I don't fully agree, but I respect it. Because I see where it's coming from. I understand the thought process.
I understand too. I think it's bullshit though.
I don't think it's bullshit. I think it comes from a real place.
Bullshit? Because these concepts could vary based upon what society you live in. So because
they do, though.
That's the only reason why I don't agree.
They do, but that's what I'm saying. Those societies have a way.
So we're pretty much what
we don't have a way.
Yo, you know what? Let's just follow the Western concept of what manhood is. I don't agree with the shit. Clearly, it's not working for African descendants. So why the fuck are we still like thinking like them? That's what's causing a lot of problems in our community.
Well, some of y'all,
you see what I'm saying?
African
So fool's pretty much saying like, yo, to be a man, you just gotta be a provider financially. So if you're not the head of household, you're not a man.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
no. I never said that though. I never said that. We were talking about
I
You literally said I subscribe to gender roles. What gender roles are you talking about? I'm assuming you're talking about the ones that's prevalent in America, right? You don't have to assume anything.
Just understand. I
understand. You don't have to assume because you're not clear with your answers.
No, in every society, when you go to indigenous society,
I asked this nigga
every society.
I said, give me 3 examples, right? And he couldn't answer that.
Yo, for the society to function, what I'm saying, the dysfunction in the black community is because there is no standard in value or value system that the majority, if you look at Italians, you know what I mean? The majority of them, you might not agree with it, but they're going to Catholic church. They're going to pray to the Pope. They're going to take those values. That's what I'm saying. They don't I'm not saying those need to be our values. I'm just saying every people, Chinese people, every people got a set of values. And those values break up and determined by sex and gender.
And I kept asking you, what are yours?
Huh?
What are yours? What defines a man to you? You said a gentleman, right?
Yeah, but I learned. That's what I'm saying.
I learned what I learned to gender roles.
That's
right?
the thing.
I
was fortunate enough that I had both
being a
parents
gentleman,
there.
right?
Yeah.
Where did we learn this concept of being a gentleman? This is all Western thinking. This is all Eurocentric thinking. This is Judeo-Christian thinking. All of this shit is not us. So it's like, yo, we're saying all of this shit. It sounds cute, but what you're pretty much saying is, yo, just act like a white man. That's what you're saying.
I don't think etiquette was created by Europeans.
Like a white
man.
Yo, come on, well, listen, what etiquette you talking about?
Hey,
let's move on to the next question.
I'm just
I
saying,
think this can run on. I think it's a whole nother topic. It can definitely keep going. You know what I mean? Let's jump on to the next.
They learn everything from us, so I don't know.
You know, do children need their biological fathers in their lives, or can any male figure fulfill that void? You know, can Russell Wilson raise Future's son?
No, that's Future's son. Future needs to raise Future's son, and I think people should respect that Future can raise his son. And it's cool for Russell Wilson to be there.
But I didn't mean to throw you off.
No. I'm not throwing off because that was a good example of how we don't respect, fathers once that family's broken up. There's a lot of confusion. That kid doesn't know what's going on. He just knows I got dad and the other dude, and I'm calling this dude dad. Yo, to be honest, it's kind of disrespectful. You know what I mean? I'd be damned if another man call my son dad. You know what I mean? That means I'm either not doing what I need to be doing, or I'm being sabotaged.
My son dad?
Huh?
You might want to rephrase that.
Yeah, like.
Oh, did he say it
Future's
the other way
son
around?
calling Russell Wilson.
Yeah, you meant. Yeah, I think you meant it the other way around.
Yeah, that he's calling that guy dad instead of me. So, you know what I mean? But it might not be that it could be I'm not taking care of my responsibilities, or it could be that I'm being set up, I'm taking care of my responsibilities and Mom Deuce got a problem. But that's the thing. There's a lot of dysfunction in how we treat each other as black people, irregardless of family. But bringing family's the basic unit of society. We can't get that right. Yo, we don't need to talk about freedom. We might as well sign up for we actually do sign up voluntarily for slavery. We're here in this capitalist system under the Federal Reserve, signing up for to be imprisoned and shit. We can't seem to organize to fight it. We know there's a prison industrial complex that puts us in prison disproportionately.
Bring it back to the biological fathers.
Exactly, back to the fathers. If the fathers is there, we're not gonna act like we're gonna be secure in our manhood, not to fall for those traps. Cause we got somebody. Not only did I have my pops tell me, these are the traps that black men are gonna go through in America. This is what you need to do. I had my white teacher in middle school saying this, like, you a boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? So there's examples of good men. I know G's like, he was white. He can't be good. Nah, chill. Nah. It's cool. Listen, I'm pro-black too, brother. But there's just good people out here who really do care. And
play me. I didn't even say none of that.
Nah, it's just I'm putting words in your mouth. But I'm just saying, there's good people out here who really care about what's happening to our black boys, our African boys, our indigenous American boys. We our black,
so-called black men.
You
contradicting yourself.
What are you talking about?
You just said like no, they need their biological fathers, and then you just said yo,
nah. This is what I'm saying.
Here.
The best case scenario. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna say the best case scenario like just the father has to be functional. If your parents ain't functional, you ain't gonna be functional.
All right, so the biological father isn't the best case scenario. The best case scenario is a good father. Period. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, best case scenario is a good father.
That could be your uncle. That could be your grandfather. That could be your stepdad. That could be, a number of people.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It doesn't
necessarily have to be your biological father. I agree with you.
But then, this is what I'll riddle you this. If, in fact, your biological father is on point, his father was on point. Mm-hmm. If his father was on point, you'll be on point. That's what I'm saying. It's not just about
hopefully you'll be on
those
point.
Other men who can fulfill the father role. It's about getting ourselves to that point where we will be those men and the next generation. So then you have continuity. What I'm saying is there's no continuity in how we function in our society.
I got you.
We need these other men to fill these roles because the men who are supposed to be doing it aren't doing it. That's why I said best case scenario, right? It is supposed to be the biological father.
So your answer to this question would be no.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was gonna say something similar. The question: do children need their biological father in their lives, or can any male figure fulfill that void? Here's the thing: it depends on what you look at about being a father, right? I'm just gonna use myself as an example. Do children need their biological fathers? I feel like there's something you can learn from looking at your biological father. Does he have to be in your life? Be in my life, meaning being present 100% of the time? I don't think so. Can
I ask y'all a question?
Available, yes.
How about this? What about kids that were adopted, right? In their infant stages.
Some of them go looking.
Wait, hold on, but walk with me.
Yep.
They had no idea that their adopted parents were not their biological parents, and then let's say they found out in their 30s or something. Are you now saying out of nowhere they're just gonna magically develop this void, this yearning for their biological parent?
No, absolutely not. Bro. I just think that there's still something you can learn from your body. Like, here's the thing: if you don't learn it, if you don't know about it, you don't need to learn. You see what I'm saying? Like, if it's not there, if it's out of mind, out of sight, out of mind, type of thing, right?
And that's my point. So that means technically you don't need it then.
What?
You don't need a relationship with your biological father.
But I think there's a benefit from it.
You need a relationship with a father. You know what I'm saying?
No. All right. So I'm going to say that you do need, because it's like, it's like this. You could say you don't need your mother's breast milk, right? But the fact is, if you're not breastfeeding, you don't get the same nutrients.
I was going to say, so there's a benefit.
There's a benefit. There's a difference.
How about this? What's the difference? I'm going to ask y'all right now, what's the difference?
What's the difference? I share my father's DNA.
What head start do you have?
First of all, you share your father's DNA. Okay. So there's a head start, not a head start, but there's a benefit right there from looking at how you might turn out if you do the wrong things.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Hold on. Y'all saying because you share your father's DNA, looking at him, you will know how you're going to end up?
No, how you could. For example, I'll give an example.
Y'all saying the sins of the father pass down to the children.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm going to give you my example, and then you can respond after that.
Then that means you're going to say, my fate of my father was going to happen.
Let me give you an example,
and
we'll see what you say. Because I look at my father right now, right? I told y'all, he's got like half a foot left due to his diabetes problem.
Yeah.
Now, there's a debate, I feel like, separately on diabetes being like something like that's passed down, because maybe it's just the diet.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. It's just
you know what I'm saying?
No, but
however,
there's a genetic. Yeah.
There is something tied to if I look at my father right now and look at how he looks as he gets old, the way he mistreated his body, I'm not gonna mistreat my body like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure I look good. That's one thing.
That's not proving anything that we're bringing up right now, though.
It is, because I share his DNA, and there's a benefit to looking at him and his mistakes and how he looks now and the way he thinks now and what he does now.
Yo, how about this? But let's just say your father was now your uncle or your stepdad who went through the same thing. You can't say, I'm going to learn from that as well, observing his diet and knowing I'm not going to eat like him because I can end up like him.
Yo, you could, but you don't think there's a more potent lesson when you look like the nigga?
maybe if that
I think
means
there
something
is.
to you, that's to some people.
You got 23 of the same chromosomes.
I think there's a benefit. Let me remix the question, yo. Is there a benefit to having your biological father just in your life, yo? Is there a benefit?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, because the benefits are he could like give you like the history of your family. So yeah, clearly that's a benefit. However, if your father's a fucking crackhead, how big of a benefit really is that?
I mean,
you
listen, that turns it into interpersonal because of course if he's like,
look at Jay.
Of course, if he's a crackhead, I ain't gonna make it. You know what I mean?
Look at Jay-Z.
No, don't say because your father's a crackhead, you're not gonna make it. That's bullshit.
No, I didn't say not gonna make it.
But you still want to know.
If I said that, that's not what I meant.
You still want to who your father is. Or who any of your parents are should always be important to you, whether they did what they were supposed to do or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Maybe I must be really fucked up, cause I never really cared for my pops like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I've always known him as a clown, an ain't shit nigga, a Rolling Stone, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So to me. Like,
well, maybe you gotta know him in a different way.
My sisters are the one, like I said, who pulled me back to my pops and like knowing him. Cause I'm kind of the way you were, yo. Like I really didn't, like it just wasn't a thing for me to even go look. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't a topic. Like it was just literally, like I said, out of sight, out of mind. Like,
for me, from growing up in a 2-parent household, I looked at my father differently.
Yo, my sisters actually planned. They literally did this to this dude where they gathered all of my siblings on my father's side because he got a few of them. We all went down to his crib and like had this intervention like, yo, listen, let's keep it a buck. We all know you weren't there in any of our lives. We all know you had a huge drug habit. Y'all know blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? You were reckless to our mothers. We like literally had this huge intervention at his crib and in his kitchen table. Yeah. And he did this whole, you guys are right. I was really fucked up. He told us about his like bad crack habits and stuff like that and how he's just been out there. Now he's trying to, he's got a good woman now to like pull him back and turn him around. Yeah. You know what I mean?
People, and sometimes it could be selfishness, but people sometimes grow into good people or the people they're supposed to be, not at a time in their life when it's convenient for the people who need them. And that's something, as anybody, we got to accept. Right? And, I was lucky enough that I had a father when I was younger. He would take the whole family on vacation, driving. He would treat my mom lovely. But even in a 2-family household, my pops made his mistakes. He did his thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
No, I feel you. Well, yo, you got anything else to say?
I'm be honest with you, guys. The examples that y'all bringing up doesn't necessarily say it needs to be your biological father. So that's why
I don't think you need it.
I'm trying to understand where y'all coming from.
I said that you don't need it. I just said that there's a benefit.
I said the simplest thing I can say. If you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. So
there's a benefit.
There's definitely a benefit.
I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's needed.
Yeah,
I think
there's a benefit to have a wealthy fucking godmother. Like, okay.
Yeah, but this is different because you're talking about the person who actually shot you out here.
You'll still be alright. You know what I'm saying?
You'll still be alright. I'm just saying there's a benefit. There's a benefit to knowing your biological.
Any person who does not know their biological father, not even they know who
they're not doomed to society.
I don't think they're doomed, but I think there's always going to be an anger there.
No.
Like,
I don't know if I agree with that.
Hold on. First and foremost,
I'm not talking about people who know. I'm talking about people who don't even know who their pops.
Wait a minute. I think now we're all talking about different shit. I'm just saying you don't need your biological father. Yeah. Clearly, there's a benefit to knowing your biological father. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I think we all agree that we don't need it. You said that same thing, right?
Nah, he said you do need it. And that's where I was like, I disagree.
You need all the nutrients you can get. You need all the nutrients you can get. This is what I think. This is what I say. Need in the way of, can you survive without him and be your best self?
Yeah. Because it's saying, the question is, can a male figure fill that void? And I think so.
I think you'll be your best self faster if he's there, if he's involved, if he's doing. That's what I'm saying. It's not just about your biological father being there, but your biological father being there and being present I think.
But couldn't you say the same thing for any man there and present?
Yes and no, because any man is not your biological father.
What's the difference?
It's a special connection. That if you have,
all right, nigga, then I clearly didn't get that connection, dog. I must be fucked up in the game. You know what I'm saying?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Not everybody's fortunate.
I mean, listen,
no.
After we
it's
did
like,
that, my whole reason I brought up that intervention point, after we did that intervention thing, you know, the lines of communication stay open and it's back and forth. However, that didn't come until, you know, after I was like 23 or something.
In my case, there's a special connection to my dad's belt and my ass getting whooped.
Yo, let's jump to the next one, because we spent a lot of time on it. I know it was pretty healthy.
You gonna learn today, boy.
But this is an important one.
Let's go.
According to the late Dr. Frances Cress Welsling's book, The ISIS Papers, she wrote, "No black female should become a mother before 30 years of age. No black male should become a father before 35 years of age. Each black family should have no more than 2 children, no closer together than 3 years apart, and both black males and females should, at a minimum, complete high school and become fully self-sufficient before marriage and parenthood. These structures are specifically for the purpose of countering the thrust for black infuriation and failed psychosocial development under the conditions of white supremacy. Do you agree with Dr. Welsing's suggestions for black parents?" I'm gonna open this up. No. Hell fucking no, nigga. I'm sorry.
Nigga. God damn.
Hell
son.
no.
R.I.P. nigga.
Do you see all these fucking stipulations? I'm reading this like, yo, who the fuck is she, yo? You know what I mean?
Yo,
she came out the gate. No black male should become a father before 35 years of age, nigga.
This is what's wrong with the woke culture.
Hold on, y'all agree with that?
Yo,
Before 35, y'all agree with that?
Yo, hold on.
She was fouled. Hold on. She fucked up there.
This nigga rolled so bad.
Each black family should have no more than 2 children. She fucked up there.
I think you gotta read
no closer together than 3 years
understand.
apart. She fucked up.
Yeah, hold on.
Because she based a lot of that on.
And black males and females should have a minimum complete high school. So I'll give it that.
No, she's
becomes
right.
fully self-sufficient before marriage or parenthood. I'll give it that.
Hold on.
You want to take this one, G?
Yeah.
I'm going to let you.
Yeah, let these niggas allegedly school me. Let's see what's up.
I'm going to say this, right? She's addressing black inferiority, right? So now, for you to actually annihilate that from your children, right? You need to be fully self-sufficient. Think about this. Are you truly self-sufficient in your 20s? There might be a small percentage, maybe like 5% of brothers could say, yeah.
I've lived on my own since 18, yeah.
You're learning how to be self-sufficient in your 20s.
You're not self-sufficient.
I'm not self-sufficient. You are learning.
You're learning.
But that means you can't.
Yo, listen.
I mean, I still disagree.
Yeah,
I see where you're going, but go ahead.
Yo, think about this, right? We're all like now in like our 30s, and we're not even like fully established, right? So it's kind of like, to me, yo, and honestly, and I'm like middle class, right? But I will even say, I just got to that point recently. So now, if I had my son in like, let's say my early 20s, who knows how his development would be? Because I'll probably have to do like work 2 jobs. Ready. I'll probably have to do all kind of stuff. And me trying to provide financially means less time with my child. She's pretty much saying 35 is maybe like controversial, right?
Well, because
I think, but at the very least, at 35, right, the average black man should be comfortable in his career, established, and ready to have kids, and ready to like actually put all his attention towards his children. Now, in 30 for women, I actually agree with it. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because, for one, women, when we usually graduate, like say 21, 22, some of them go to grad school, some want to get their doctorate, some want to kickstart their career, all of that stuff. Yo, you're dedicating for the most part, most of your 20s towards your career. You're not fully really established until your 30s. That goes for men and women. You see what I'm saying? So now, if in fact a woman goes, you know what, I want to have children in my early 20s, but I also want to pursue my career. What happens? The woman literally hands her child over to daycare and all this other things. So there has to be like a balance. But again, she's addressing racism, white supremacy, and how our children are literally growing up feeling inferior. For your children not to feel inferior, they need to have a solid structure.
I feel like you can learn from someone.
Man. Come on, son.
I feel like I learned a lot watching my mother
struggle.
Yo, that's what you saying,
yeah.
Yo, that's crazy, yo.
You think it's crazy?
Yes.
Yeah, because
I didn't make those same mistakes that she made.
Yeah, listen. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna use a.
But I'm not saying that struggling should be the way to raise. What I'm saying, first of all, let me just say this.
Who got the better foundation?
First of all, let me just say this.
I'm interested. Let him rock.
Let me just say this real quick. All right. And this is just my personal opinion.
I didn't even have a bank account at 21. What's going on? Like,
nigga, I had a bank account at 18, though. You know what I'm saying? So first of all,
but how much was in it?
I feel like
enough
a lot
to take
of
care
this
of a kid
is interpersonal. Nah, I wasn't trying to have kids at that point. I was pretty smart.
That's her whole point.
Yo, nigga, that's
not
her whole point. First of all, if someone comes with a piece of legislature saying you have to follow these rules, right? Knowing that this shit is interpersonal.
What did I say?
And it depends on the family. It depends on the person. All right? You can't just make this general statement and say people shouldn't have...
It's a guideline. It's not a rule. And can I explain why?
I don't think it's great.
It's a guideline.
I just don't think it's great.
It's a guideline because she's looking at what's wrong with the black community.
Yeah, she's
the lack
at it
of
from
structure, the lack of value systems that we have, and that we each do.
No closer together than 3 years apart. Explain that one.
Yo, I'll explain. What she's saying is you don't want kids too closely born
or too far apart.
Too close, because if you're putting affection towards one child, another may suffer. And so she believes that both parents should give each child the equal amount of affection and attention for their development. That makes sense to me. But she's talking about an ideal scenario. You're looking at it as,
these are the
how
rules.
Dare she, this nigga, I'm not following these commandments.
I guess it's because of the way she wrote it. No female
I'm not
should do
following
this.
these 10 commandments.
No one should do this. Each family should have this.
Yes.
It just sounds a little lecturing.
Rome's like, nigga, give me my fucking golden calf.
Yeah, that's what she do. She lectures because she...
Golden calf.
She used to have beautiful lectures.
Nah, I don't need the golden
Cress
calf.
Welsing,
All I need is me.
Let me bless the mic and say why she's 100% correct.
Why she's 100% correct.
She's 100% correct. Yo,
see, all y'all niggas gotta go. Both y'all niggas extreme tonight, yo.
You said it. Ideal scenario. Yo, men reach their maturation later than women.
Okay.
I know for myself, and probably for the majority of brothers I know, I would, especially in my early 20s, I was reckless. I became less and less reckless as I became older.
Yo, hold on.
And I had more and more responsibility.
Yourself. You know that, right?
My early 20s.
Nigga, none of us are fucking 35. And she literally just said, nigga, you should wait till 35.
But you know what?
So are you going to say you're not ready to be a father?
Listen,
Are you not ready to be a father, fool?
No. I'm going to have to be ready. I mean, I think 35, but I'm
so
come
you
on.
can't say she's 100% correct.
I'm about to be 33. It's like 2 years. It's not that serious. I think she's talking about a rubric of you should be at a certain age of maturation where you're mature enough and financially sound enough that you can actually provide something for your kids and you're not struggling doing it. You know what I mean? Usually people are settling their careers by their 30s. Usually people start to look to buying houses and getting equity. And this is the problem. Black community don't got no money. Black families don't got no money. And the black families that do, I guarantee.
They all wait.
I guarantee.
And so the child stops them from getting money.
I bet you there's a mother there. There's a father there.
Rome,
I bet you they're married.
Yo, Rome, stop.
I bet you they're married.
You know how expensive it is to raise a child, dog?
Nigga, I know it's expensive, but don't you think I should just be a little more responsible and do it the right way?
There is a connection.
But she's putting all these age stipulations on it. I don't think those age stipulations are correct at all.
She said 35, I got you turned up.
And between 3 years in between each kid and shit. Like, I don't know, that's a little too...
Your lack of preparedness, especially we're not even talking about teenage parenting.
You know that's a force?
Because we have problems with teenage parenting in our community.
That was a force.
Babies having babies. Yo, one of my favorite models, because she's so juicy. I love it. No, yo, Bernice. Did you know Bernice Burgos?
Bernice Burgos
is a grandmother.
Yeah,
at 37.
At 37 years old,
she can afford it.
Now, no slight
Nigga,
to Bernice
now.
Burgos.
Yeah, now.
I'm sure
But yo, people were
she's raised her
King
daughter.
Tut was what, 14,
She's created
smashing
opportunity.
I know this nigga
but
didn't
that's
just
what I'm
talk
saying.
about fucking
Listen.
King Tut, nigga.
I did bring up King Tut because what I'm saying is
Hotep, nigga.
Listen.
Hotep, nigga. Ox up, roll,
Listen.
panic.
I ain't panicked.
Two Tut.
I ain't panicked because what y'all are saying is a child will stop you from achieving your financial goals and all this shit, and I don't believe that to be true. I know a lot of successful.
Rome.
I know
All right,
a
next
lot of
question.
successful.
Rome.
I know a lot of
I spent
successful single parents.
$44 in diapers this week.
Nigga, I'm hip.
This
You
nigga
think if
just
I'm-
showed on. You know what he just said? He
If
said,
I-
I know a
you
lot of
think-
successful single parents.
Yo, if I
nigga,
didn't have a child,
everything that she was
if I
saying,
didn't have
bro.
a child, that $44 when it went to
Not
something
even.
else.
Yo, fool. Listen what this nigga just
Come
said.
on.
I know several successful single parents. What the fuck, dog?
What I'm saying
That's
is
going against everything she's trying to say right now,
yo,
dog.
I guess that's what I'm saying. Like her
Yes, you
suggestions.
can be in spite
I don't
of.
think work for
Bro,
the majority.
You can be a.
You know what? My fault. Let me just say
in
this.
spite
Yeah,
of, but
nigga,
is
clean
that the
that up,
best?
nigga.
She's
Clean
talking
that
about
up.
the best case scenario.
Let me say
I'm
this.
trying
yo.
not to get
You
a nigga
talking
the
about
ball,
yo?
but I'm
We
like,
can make it.
goddamn, Rome.
You talking
Let me
about
say this.
we can grind
Yo,
through
fool,
this.
let him clean it up, yo. Let him clean
me
it
say
up.
this.
I'm
My nigga Rome
I'ma let
panicking
you get
hard.
Listen, I ain't
Yeah.
panicking. I ain't clearing up shit. But what I am saying, all I'm trying to say is her guidelines are a little rigid. I think they're a little absurd. But I see what she's trying to
Absurd?
say.
Rigid, yes. Absurd, you're bugging.
Yo,
What's
that 3
absurd?
years, the 3 years between each
Yo,
child.
they
That
take,
doesn't make sense to you?
You know why it's rigid? Because it takes discipline, and black people don't have discipline.
I agree with you 100%.
We don't have
Niggas
discipline.
do not have
but
discipline.
we don't have discipline because we don't have the value system. Discipline
we-
needs values.
We do need a value system.
The value system
I agree
is
with you
what
again.
gives you the discipline.
100% I
If you
agree
don't
with
know
you.
what you're doing wrong, if you don't know what you're doing wrong,
I just think-
how can you teach the next
For her to make
generation?
the effort-
Yo, y'all been doing it.
Yo, this shit is
wrong.
wild. I'm actually
That's
agreeing
why
with
Cress
fool.
Welsing
Nigga, this
is
wild.
100% right. She's 100% right. Rest
Listen,
in peace to the
damn,
rest
queen.
in peace,
We got you,
Francis
goddess.
Cress
We got
Welsing.
you, ancestor.
Wrong.
I simply
God
have
damn
beef with
it,
this.
man.
We got you on this
If
one.
the Hoteps want to kill me, yeah, go ahead, kill me, put me on the stake. I don't give a fuck. All I'm saying is the shit's a little rigid, yo.
Yo.
And I guess for me specifically, when someone comes off like this, I get turned off because it's like, yo, what are you trying to say, yo? You know what I mean?
I don't think
But-
she's trying to be judgmental. I think she's talking from a
I think that's
from a
maybe
psychic-
that's what it is.
fr-
True.
fr-
I
I
think
think
it comes off
most likely-
It's not even the judgmental part.
I mean,
I
there's
just
a
think it's-
judgment. She is a psychiatrist, so she makes judgments. But she makes judgments based on the trauma she sees in her patients. So based on that trauma that she sees in her patients, she has to make an assertion about, all right, how would this be remedied if we had an ideal situation?
No more
of
than
people
two
can
chulildren,
do-
no closer together
if
than
people
3 years
doing what they're
apart. I
supposed
think
to be doing.
so. She's now. I don't know. There's just a few.
Yo,
you know what
trust
it is?
me.
There's a few things in here I just have
If
beef with.
hold on, I'm
if
gonna
I
be honest
could've-
with you.
We're talking over each other.
If
Give me
I
a
could have
second.
waited 3 years to have a child, I would have waited that 3 years.
Give me a
because
second.
that 3 years would
Let me
have
just
afforded
list
me
the
more
things I have a
maturity.
problem with, so you guys are clear.
Yeah.
All right. Before 35, I think that's a little bit of a force.
Yeah.
Families should have no more than 2 children, no closer together than 3 years apart. I think that's a little bit of a force. There are many tribes who have a few children. You know what I mean? In fact, the majority of my family, I think, has a lot of that. My aunt has like 8 kids. My sister's got.
There's nothing wrong with having a
4.
lot of kids.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with having a lot of kids, yo. You know what I mean? And all of them are doing their thing. You know what I mean? There's another part in here where she
But this
says.
is what does happen in black families.
The only
bro.
thing I agree with. Both black males and females at minimum complete high school and become fully self-sufficient before marriage and parenthood.
But, bro,
that doesn't mean that can't happen
yo,
in your 20s.
Yo, hold on, how
Yo,
about this? Can I say
yo,
one thing? Hold on.
can I say one thing about just about the kids part? Just about the kids part, because yo, I came from a family of 5 kids, right? My 2 older sisters, they're close in age. My 3 younger, my brother's 5 years older. My sister's a year younger, right? There's a lot of kids. Trust me, yo, a lot of my life got lost in translation.
Well,
Because
listen,
why? Because there's a trickle-down effect. Parents, by the time you got your older kids, you have your older kids watch your younger kids. The younger kids do not get as much attention.
I was the
as
youngest in my household.
But how was your family household set up?
I mean, I had a single mom parent setup. You know what I mean? I grew up with the 2 sisters that
Were
my
they
mother
in the
had
household?
with her.
at the
Yeah, they
time?
were in the household.
Okay.
However, I think my youngest sister, there's a 7-year age gap. So they all left kind of like.
So you weren't getting
16, 18.
So you was the baby. You was getting that attention because they had grown
you
older.
You prove our point, bro.
You proving
What's
our
her
point.
point? How am I proving her point?
Dog. You literally had the attention of your mother.
So what's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that. That's what she's saying.
That's Cress Welsing's point.
Oh my god!
But she said no more than 3 years apart.
Because
I'm
what
7 years
happens
apart
is,
from one of my sisters, and then from there I think it's another.
Yeah, but what she's talking about
Like,
when
what-
she
I
says
don't
no more
understand
than
what
3
she's
years
talking about
apart,
with that, yeah.
what happens
she
is
said no closer together than
3 years apart.
No closer together
Yes,
than 3 years
that
apart.
means at the very least they have to be 3 years
I'm
apart.
gonna tell you something.
That's what she's saying.
Yo, my little sister.
All right, I'll
You're
take that
reading
one
it
back.
wrong.
Sure,
You're reading it wrong.
I'll take that
She
one
might
back.
get mad at me for saying this, but yo, when I was a little boy, right? My sisters, a year apart from me. I can't even remember this, but I was like maybe 6 years old or whatever, right? Or maybe even 5 or 4. My sister was born a year before me, right? We're a year and a half apart. I literally, as a little kid, was so jealous of the attention that she was getting that I bit her on the hand. She still has the mark on her hand till this day. I bit her so hard. Now, I can't tell you what my psychological state was at that time because I don't remember. But I bet you I was probably jealous of the attention she was getting. And that's probably why Cress Welsing knows the real. She's like, yo, you not, you know what I mean?
All right, nah, yeah. Listen,
I think it's just
I ain't know Cress
it's a
Welsing was gonna
precaution.
cause all of this
Yo,
with y'all niggas.
respect to
God
Dr. Francis
damn.
Cress Welsing.
Yo,
I mean no disrespect. I simply don't agree with Dr. Cress Welsing's suggestions for black parents. Let me do this one. How do you raise your children when you have a toxic relationship with their mother?
You got to deal with it accordingly. If you got a toxic relationship and you can't come to middle ground terms, as a father, you should protect yourself, protect your rights, do everything by the means of the law. Know what the law is. Know how the law can be used against you. Know how to deal with her. Get your legal counsel up. Make sure you have the rights and visitation of your kids. If it's a state like Massachusetts, get joint custody. You know what I mean? Do it through that. Always try to be cordial. And I know this is hard. It's harder to say than done because people get set up. There's all types of crazy scenarios that people get put in, especially as black men, especially in the state of Massachusetts. A lot of the laws make it hard for males to be great fathers because there's so much against them. And men want to be involved. A lot of these men want to be involved, and they're just disheartened because of the situations they're put, or the legal situation. So make sure that you get your legal stuff right. Of course, you know what I mean? If she's, if she's rabid, if she's crazy, if she's wilding, there's nothing you could really do about another person. All you can do is control how you react. You know what I mean? Try to be cool. Try to not to argue. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. It's easier said than done because these arguments that's probably what the problems are. You're probably having arguments about your child. You're probably having arguments about your relationship. But, do what you need to do to protect yourself, protect the interest of your children at first and foremost. And, try to keep your whatever beef y'all got outside of the eyes and the veil of your children, and just be the best parent you could be.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Fight for your kids. You know what I mean?
Do you think? Yo, G.
Yo, man, I agree with the nigga.
There it is.
Pretty good.
There it is. All right. We're going to wrap that up.
Yes.
That was Black Fatherhood.
Now, we're going to go, since we wrapping up, right? So
we're going to wrap up. Yo, fool.
I want to say this, so this black toy maker I've been talking about.
dying to get this fucking black toy maker out here. Yo.
So follow his Instagram, I_Ronin, and that's RONIN, the number 1. So I'll say it again, I_Ronin, RONIN, the number 1. He makes some dope toys, and y'all need to check him out. I just want to plug any black person that's doing anything cool, and you get an action figure for your son or for yourself, because I'm thinking I'm about to be a toy collector myself and collect some action figures.
Black-owned action figures.
Hey,
not back
man,
then
I got
collect.
comic books, whatever.
Nah, it's not bad.
Let's make it work.
Yo, G, you got any?
Yo, man, I just like to say, I didn't know this topic would get all y'all niggas so high-spirited, but hey, it's all good.
Yes.
Love, black power, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. And listen, I honestly try to speak for the ignorant and the misinformed.
Yo, we gonna give Rome a hug, yo.
Nah,
niggas need a hug, dog. No homo, son. Niggas need a hug, son. You know what I mean?
Cash just gotta let these individuals be individuals.
It's like the Native American commercial with the chief.
However,
with the one tear comes out his eye, and then
at some point you do
that
gotta.
was Rome this episode.
Hey, listen.
That nigga right,
just
yo, Cress
disheartening.
Welsing, he said, well, yo, what the fuck?
I just don't like people coming for Cress Welsing because the wokes have done a terrible job of disrespecting her on Instagram, not Instagram, on Twitter.
They did a terrible job at disrespecting, or they did a great job at disrespecting.
Yo, listen,
if you're disrespecting,
if you can't synthesize,
and I say that by saying they're disrespecting. How do you do a terrible job at disrespecting? You mean they're just disrespecting her, right? What are you saying? I don't know what that.
Yeah, they're just disrespect. I mean, you should never disrespect our ancestors who came forth to better us.
I wouldn't say a terrible job at disrespecting. Just say that they're being disrespectful. You can't do a bad job at. Well, maybe you can do a bad job at disrespecting.
I use what do you call it? Double negatives or just double positive? I'll use both.
Is that double negative? Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a double negative because I use colloquialisms and ebonics and all types of language
Use them all.
is deemed incorrect, but I love it.
Nah, I got you, yo. All right, well, that's it. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, upanic'd, UPANICD, and always visit. Just go to upanic'd.com. Make sure you subscribe to our website. Keep in touch. We'll talk to you then.
My nigga need a hug, nigga. Damn.
Hey, it's Upanic.
Yo.
Catch you next week.